Yeah, we went live on Hunter or Jet Lawrence's feed today. I see him where you were, but you weren't around. Just like
Is that when I was screaming on?
yeah, like an hour ago. So, what's up, man? Just waiting for everyone to kind of show up here. We'll go check out the Supercross track. Why is this not starting? Alright, phone calls keep coming in. Hayden's over there skateboarding right now. So anyway, yeah, we decided to jump on tonight. We didn't go on last night, just had a lot of stuff to do. You guys can check out the Supercross track here. Sonny just rebuilt the Supercross track. And let's see, you guys can check it out. Still got some weeds on it. We just cleared it off. Actually, Sonny did. I just watered, that was pretty much it. Still got some weeds over on the sides, but overall it's pretty good. As you can see, our grapes are coming in. Pretty cool looking, huh? Got the grapes in the background, freestyle ramps, landing, the shop, and then you can see the Supercross track behind me right there. Pretty cool, and the finish line double. Still have some work to do on the grass sides there a little bit. So we're just cruising around, checking it out, and we went out and we're basically just getting stuff down around the shop. So we'll come on down here to the shop. But yeah, Hayden's just up at the house hanging out. And we'll probably ride some Supercross. I know I got everyone hitting us up to ride. I'm like, dude, we ain't got enough people here, right? So, anyway, we'll answer some questions. I can see some questions on there. Hang on, I'm trying to make it back without crashing. There we go. Alright, we'll head to the shop right here. It's actually starting to get a little cold out here. Probably not really compared to most states out there, but alright. Got the Can-Am right there. Alright, now I can actually hear. So, alright. Let's shut that off. What's the deal? Alright. Let's see. Hope you got a lot accomplished. What's up from Australia? Yeah, we just went on Jet Lawrence's live feed about an hour ago. So, I'm saying what's up to everyone from Australia. And then, yeah, have you guys seen the new videos? Putting out some new videos on YouTube. I'm trying to think, do you guys like the edited videos better or just live videos? Which one do you think's better? Edited or live? That's the question. So, that is the question. You guys, the comments are coming by fast here, so let's see. But yeah, live. You guys like the live? Really? Live better? Because the edited ones get way more views than the live. Live's probably just cool when it's actually live, like when you're actually, like when we're actually on. The edited ones are cool because you get to watch them. I don't know. There's just a little more time put into them. Anyhow, so what's up? We are looking through messages. How long until we see Hayden on a 250? I was kind of thinking about that one. I was thinking about that one the other day because honestly, if he was, I think the height is like he's got to be at least 5'4", 5'5", and 5'4", 5'5", and 125, 130 pounds. And then I think he could be ready to get on a 250F, which to me, I've never really wanted to rush that. But I almost feel like the sooner he could get on, the more he would get accustomed to that four-stroke power. It is a different style of riding. Like riding a four-stroke is different than a two-stroke, just the way they handle or the way they hit, way the power hits. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the earliest Hayden could be on a 250F would be like sometime next year, but probably more realistic the year after. Will you race in Massachusetts? I haven't been up there in a long time. Like, it's been a long time since I've been up there. What else? We need the big Deegan 38 badge and stickers like the ones on the pit bike. We do. Honestly, we should probably do that, huh? So hit up Ryan, or we could hit up the some comments on the Shop Deegan page. Go to the Instagram, Shop Deegan Instagram, and leave those comments. Say, hey, we want the big Deegan 38 stickers, and we'll see if we can't get some made, right? My 85 is real touchy. It feels like, yeah, well, you know what? You can calm your bike down a little bit if it's too pipey with gearing. You can use sprockets, and usually just put a smaller sprocket on the rear of the bike, and it'll help calm it down a little bit. That's kind of a trick to that. What else? What other questions you got? Like dirt bike questions. How old is Hayden? Hayden is AMA 13, which he's really 14. So he could literally turn pro in 2 years, though. What is connected to the shop? Really, my shop is just this part here. The front, you got 2 bays, just 2 big bays that you could fit a motorhome in each bay. And then this is more the metal shop, machine shop. And that's the Pro Light, like I said, I want to get rid of here. But we got a metal shop here with all the machines and stuff. This is pretty sad. Let me show you here. So this is our machine shop. We got some welders here. You know, I try to get a sponsorship from Miller. I try to get Lincoln welders. Dude, I couldn't get any sponsors. Like, no one wanted to help us with welders, which just sucked. Pretty weird. But I hit up the guys from Bally Machine. And behind this portacool is a lathe. So that lathe there, I don't like ever use it. So I'm want to get rid of that lathe, and unless someone can teach me how to use it correctly. We have some shears, some brakes. That's what you use to cut metal for race trucks. Some extra metal there. Dirt bikes. This is, I hate to say it, but guess what bike this is right here in pieces? Guess what bike? Guess what bike that is right there? Can you guess? Guess what bike it is? That bike is the most important bike we probably own, or at least Hayden owns. What's up, Florida man? That is Hayden's very first bike he won Loretta's on. He won Loretta's in the mud. Remember that race? Go back and watch it on Racer X TV or whatever it is. Hey, go back and watch that race. I was pulling my hair out. I was so nervous because, do you guys know that story? That story, like I tried to win Loretta's like as a kid for many years. I got second place many times like Kevin Windham. And Hayden went back. He had it won a few years in on a 50. And then the last moto, he got taken out on the start and broke his bike. And anyway, it was 2 years later, he went in. All I had to do was win the last moto, and it started pouring rain. I was like, no way. And he's a California rider. He can't ride the mud. So anyway, he got put on a set of roll-offs. I'm like, well, hopefully they work, because half the time they mess up. And so he takes off, and he just starts sending it, hitting all the jumps in the mud. And he was like literally a minute lead on the first lap. I'm like, no way. And the last lap, he crashes into a tree and actually luckily got his bike started and won the championship, which we've been trying to do for decades. Anyway, that's the bike that he won it on, and I am going to build that bike and restore it and give it to Hayden for when he gets older, he'll have something like that, because I wish I would have kept my first bike. But anyway, so let's jump into this real quick. How's the vegan diet going? Not very good. I'd say mainly I just cut red meat out right now. Is all I could really figure out for the time being. Clayton Brooks, what's up? How y'all doing? Doing good, man. Thanks for the dono there. Yeah, all right, I'm reading them. How many freestyle championships have I won? A lot. I won a lot, but there was so many funky, weird, like freestyle events all the time. I won a lot of those back in the day, but I always competed against guys like Pastrana and stuff. So, hey, I'm going to have Tony Hawk on my podcast this week. I'm going to interview him, or not, we're just going to talk. Any questions that we should bring up to Tony Hawk? That would be pretty cool, huh? Let's see. Where did you get your graphics? Factory Effects does our graphics pretty much. What else? Australia. Yep. What bikes? How is it doing the first 900? Yeah, that's probably been asked that 1,000 times. What else? Com Race in Australia just bought us 250F. That's cool. What else? If you wanted to get more power on a KLX 140 as a big bore kit, is it worth the money? I stay away from big bore kits on pit bikes because they never quite ever run right and they're always a problem. You always have issues with them. The best pit bike, honestly, is a stock pit bike. Just don't even mess with it, and they always run. What's up, Daryl Silva? Thanks for the dono. Where's Hudson? Hudson's up. I just showed you. They're all up top. They're all up top riding skateboards. If there's one brand of motorbikes that you could have besides KTM, what would it be? Really, if I was a customer and I went in to buy a dirt bike, I probably would buy a KTM just because they have the most up-to-date technology. Like, they're always changing their bikes to be better. And I've always liked Hondas besides that. If the KTM didn't exist, I'd probably get a Honda. So what else? I'm reading dirt bike questions. Just watch your documentary. It's been a long-time supporter. It definitely was emotional. Yeah, thanks. I mean, I think that documentary is called Bloodline. I think that was, a big part of my life, and I think we did a good job with the doc. Should I get an FMF pipe for my Super Mini? Is it good? Yeah, I'd say FMF, all the pipes build probably another horsepower, I'd say. But, some of these bikes, KTM's done really well with their stock pipes, are really good. They have a lot of bottom end, though. If you want more mid-range and top, get an FMF pipe. Usually that's just the case. I don't know about the other Kawasaki's and Hondas. I don't know about that. So tell us about your tattoos. That tattoo was the first one I got on my arm. As you can see, I crashed a few times and tore a lot of it off. That tattoo I got in Australia, actually, when I was over there for the Krusty Tour. What else? Obviously the kids' names there. And then we have, this was one of a lot of people don't know. I was messing with my mouth, and Hudson's like, what do you have in your mouth? A lot of people don't know. That was my first tattoo. And I usually don't show people that, but could you guys read it? Let's see. Is the graphics on your bike available? Yes. If you hit up Factory Effects, I think you could buy the graphics that are on my bike. What's the best gear to hit a double? That doesn't really make sense. Usually second or third gear is what you're using, depending on how big the jump is. You should come to Nebraska. For what there, Maverick? I just did the podcast with Larry the Cable Guy, so he is from Nebraska. Try to guess where. All right. What's up with the factory Honda forks upstairs? Okay, yeah, we have them. Yeah, you guys read it, huh? It's the Chaos Tattoo. Here, check them out. So these are factory kit forks here. I don't know for what year, but yeah, these are Honda forks that pretty much I don't know why I have them. And I have a set of rims back here too that they're kind of buried. But yeah, they were for step up. So I have a full set of wheels in here too. Oh, here they are. Look at that. Wide rim. Look how wide that rim is. Talon hubs, brand new Talon hubs, brand new disc. Or actually W hubs. Brand new wheels, spokes. These are for a Honda. Look at even a Metal Militia sprocket. Yeah, with the wide, look how wide that tire is. That was for step up to get max grip. So basically in step up, you remember in step up, it was all about getting the drive like a whole shot. So I used a really wide tire. My opinion, I think Hayden should go to 450. What if we did that? What if we just said, you know what, next year, Hayden's racing a 450. How long do you think it'd be till he went to the hospital? How long do you think? Like a week, 2, maybe? How did you get your sponsor by KTM? Well, basically, I built this one kid that was really fast, and his name's Hayden, and he got sponsored and got me with some bikes, so that's how. Do you run? No, we only run FMF pipes. We're actually, Donnie Emler, the owner, and his son have always been pretty cool to us. But I am friends with Mitch Payton. Mitch Payton helped me for years, and we're cool now. We actually had a falling out for a little bit because I'm like, dude, my bikes are not fast the year I raced pro. And he's like, yeah, your bikes are fine. And we got in an argument, and then it didn't turn out very well for me. And then that's when I kind of quit and went to freestyle. Can you, I don't know what you're asking there. Respond to a DM. Favorite Supercross racer, who did you look up to? I looked up to Ricky Johnson. Let's see, what else? How, yes, how Irish are you? That's funny. So I'm half Spanish, a quarter Irish, and quarter German. So you do the math there. My dad was Irish, German, and my mom was Spanish. Let's see. Yeah, you can, I'll sell those forks. We'll get rid of them. Just have to leave a comment under my last post on Instagram, all right? And we'll get a hold of you. Because I forget really easy. So what do you guys think about, I'm answering dirt bike questions or off-road questions. What do you guys think about the Generals Cup Supercross thing? Because I didn't really plan on doing that. That just was something that I was like, hey, let's just see what happens with this. And it got some momentum, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it takes a lot more time than everyone realizes. And I think now Supercross is supposed to start up in May. I think it's probably going to come to an end here pretty quick. Just because I'm super busy. Could you answer my DM? Lax, tricks, dirt biking. I don't know what you're asking on the DM, dude. I get about 1,000 DMs a day, so it's kind of hard to see them all. Do you all ride trails or tracks? Mainly just tracks. There is trails, but usually I just go on the UTV. What's up, Chance? Yeah, I know. I have a unique voice and laugh. Which kind of, I get it. It's kind of like Haley's the same way, and people like to always talk crap. But at the end of the day, it's very unique for all the podcasts we do. Like when I kind of building this voice for radio and podcast. So what's up, Pamela? How do you say it? Aragon? How big is a Super Mini? It's just a little bit bigger than an 85. I can show you right here. So basically I'll show you, this is a Super Mini. You see it's just, all it is an 85 with bigger wheels, 2-inch bigger front and rear. That's an 85 right there behind it. You see the 85? Here's a Super Mini. Pretty much the same, just bigger wheels. And Hayden's been riding his Super Mini a lot. Hey Brian, what's up? Do you prefer 2-strokes or 4-strokes? I like 4-strokes. It took me a while to kind of get used to the 4-strokes, but I like the 4-strokes better just because they're easier to ride. That's my opinion on that. But let's see, what else? 14-year-old boy from New Zealand used to ride quads. I love, thank you. I'm selling my quads to buy a 250 stroke. Right on. I'm answering questions here. How to get a Super Mini? I would say Super Mini age, what does everyone think? Super Mini age is what? Kind of 12 to 16, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a safe age for Super Minis. Anyone need a filmer? How good are you at filming? Let's see, what is, okay, thub, easy, like put up your social handle and we'll see how good your video edits are. Do a podcast with Ryan Villapoto. I could do that, but I don't know. Yeah, I could talk to Ryan Villapoto. Brownin, does Haley have a boyfriend? Not that I know of. No, she doesn't. I think we would know that. We have a pretty good relationship with the kids, and they're pretty open. But if she did, I'd be surprised. I think her standards have gone. Her standards have gone like this. It just kind of depends, I guess. But as a parent, like I told you guys, if you follow what I do and follow what I say on my podcast and all my stuff, you probably realize my standards of a boyfriend. I say, hey, for my kids, you have these goals, right? Your goals out here. If that boyfriend or girlfriend is going to help you get to that goal quicker, cool, I'm listening. But if it's going to detour you off the path to your goals, then what's the point? That's my opinion on it. But hey, I know how it goes. Would you ever do it? I don't know. I'm not really into just letting people come ride and doing stuff at the house, to be honest. How do you think Hayden will fare on a 125 when he moves up? I think he'll do good. It just all comes down to timing, though. I don't know. Oh, my neck hurts. I don't know if I would do a 125 or 250F. I'm still debating on that. I was a big believer in like taking your time and pacing yourself. But I was talking to some of the factory team guys, and they said, hey, the sooner you can get your kid on a four-stroke, the sooner he's going to learn that style and power of a four-stroke. So I do believe in that, too, now a little bit. And plus, I just want to, like, you kind of just want to get to the pro ranks at some point. Like, this amateur stuff is cool, but, man, it wears on you. I never really, all right, Murray Sinden, thanks for the donation. Oh, yeah, thank you, Alex Monet. Money? Maybe Alex Money. Here's another one. I never really rode at all my whole life. I'm 20, just recently got a CR450. I like it a lot. I'm a fan. And let's see, what else to say? Nothing to this. It's scary from going from nothing, but it makes me want a 250. Should I move down? It depends how big you are. If you weigh over 160 pounds, you probably just stay on a 450. A 450 is too much power. I'm telling you, anyone who gets a 450 as their first dirt bike, it's too fast. You can calm it down, though. Call Jamie at Twisted Development, and he can map your ECU box and calm the bike down and put a couple different settings on it. Or you go get a Vortex electronic box in ECU, and then he can map it for you and give you different settings that will actually calm your bike down, because the bikes are fuel injected, so you can adjust all that. What's up, James Hunter? Bring on WWE wrestler Jeff Hardy to your podcast. I'll have to look him up. Sorry to say, I don't know who Jeff Hardy is. I don't really pay attention too much to that stuff. But I went on, did you guys listen to the podcast I did with Stone Cold Steve Austin? That was cool. I went and hung out at his house for a while. We actually got along really good. We had a lot in common as far as our way we think. And became, fairly good friends. That's a cool thing about social media. You can kind of become friends with people that you would never really expect. Like, I'm just a kid from a small town in Nebraska, came out here, and I ended up hanging out with, I looked up to Jeff Ward and Ricky Johnson, and, I listened to Motley Crue and all this stuff as a kid, and I came out here and ended up hanging out with all those guys, and I'm like, man, it's crazy, because you just have to set your mind to certain things. I think you can accomplish them and be cool and respectful and work hard. I think anything's possible, right? Imagine if I would have just stayed in my small town in Nebraska, right? Anyway, let's see. Have you ever been in Nitro Circus? No, I was kind of out of freestyle before Nitro Circus started. What's up? We have a Can-Am. How many bikes do you have? I don't know. I'm not even sure. Evan 10. Dirt bikes has been my thing, and I've been doing riding dirt bikes for about 20, 30 years now, all in. So, of course, I have a lot of bikes. That's my thing. Who is fighting? How much is a bike? How much is Hayden's bike worth? We already went through that, remember? Does anyone on here remember how much Hayden's bike's worth? Because I told you it's about $6 or $7K to buy a new 85 KTM. You have the pipe, silencer, suspension, and motor. So that's easy, another $2 to $3K. So right off the bat, you're looking at about a $10,000 bike. Yep, so you guys, I see you're answering that. V-Dub's right, 10K, that's what his bikes are worth. Who else? Sean Vera from San Diego, currently residing in St. George, Utah. Always been a huge fan, always watch videos. Keep them coming. Thanks for the dono, man. Appreciate it. So, But yeah, Hayden's bikes are probably 10K when they're new. And then when I sell them for like between 5 and 6 grand. And like I said, if you are a newbie into the sport and wanted to go actually race and be serious, that your best option is to buy a fast rider's race bike, not practice bike, but race bike. So that is the deal. It says, where is your race number 38? Huh? It's Jack? I don't know. Understand that. The Deegan's opinion on hill climbing. I think it looks cool. It looks fun. I grew up in Nebraska, and they had a national called at Yankton, South Dakota. It was a hill climb, and I went and watched. And this thing's pretty gnarly. Like the bikes that people put together with like nitrous and the turbos on them and stuff. I think it looks fun. Like I don't know. I've seen Josh Hill take it on, and I really want to try it sometime, but I just never seem to find the time. So what's up, Ta Glassworks? T-A-O Glassworks. Small town peeps, the best. Motley crew, love you guys. Right on. Did I say that right? Thanks for the dono there. Why did you switch from Razor to Can-Ams? Hey, it's basically sponsor deals, right? I have worked really hard with the family to have a value on doing things and doing cool videos and all that stuff. And hey, right, I do endorsement deals, oh my neck, and sponsor deals with companies that want to support our family. That's it. It takes obviously sponsor support for the Deegan machine to keep moving. That's just the facts. So we're always supporting brands and stuff like that. And Can-Am just, hey, look at Pastrana, Ken Block. They have a good team, right? So they want to be a part of a cool team, and they big support. And it's an awesome company, and so that's why. Get more Huck merch, really? I would, but like I tell Hudson to like sport his merch, but I need more people to support Hudson's merch so we can make different stuff. Because I'm like, every time we keep making different designs and stuff, everyone buys Haley merch, my merch, or Hudson or Hayden's merch. So you guys have to support the Huck merch. I was hoping it would kind of get this edgy, like rebel trend thing going, kind of like Militia did. But I agree. Maybe we need I don't know. What do you think? Maybe we need to find a little niche for Hudson's clothing. I don't know what that niche is. Maybe it's a phrase or saying, you know, like Nike has just do it or whatever. Like maybe there's a saying for Hudson that we could make cool and put on t-shirts. Let's see, what's that bike on the shelf? Everyone tell them what bike that is on the shelf. Tell Mackenzie that, what that bike is up there. I think everyone knows. What's up, David Welsh? You have a Can-Am coming tomorrow. Right on, dude. Thanks for repping that. Hey, at the end of the day, the companies that help me and represent me and my family, when you guys support them, that is a big deal to me because that means you're supporting the sport, right? You're supporting the things that help the athletes. So always support the brands that help the athletes first. That's my opinion, right? Respect where you guys spend your money, and let's try to keep it, like I said, be smart where you guys spend your money and where it's going. Can you do a Deegan 38 MT giveaway? Need new to me truck needs some new shoes. Thanks for all the moto content. Big fan of the family. Thanks for the dono, Just Jacob. Yeah, so I think they did something just the other day at Full of Parts. Was one of my sponsors in Temecula off-road shop. I think they did a giveaway the other day. But we could probably do something. Like, I don't know how would I do a giveaway, like, and make it like where I don't know. I have to figure that out and pick a winner and get a set of tires. What else? How's everyone doing with the whole coronavirus issue that's going on here? Are people starting to go back to work? Because I rolled around town the other day. I went downtown in Temecula and drove through the what is it? The industrial complex, like where all the shops are and all the offices. And in California, it was pretty busy. Like a lot of people were at work. So I don't know. Is it just me or is people going back to work right now? I like to say my brother didn't teach me nothing. That's funny. Huck it is a good one, right? Just huck it. Maybe that could be Hudson's phrase. Maybe just huck it. I don't know. I gotta think of something. Or what the huck, right? What the huck? That one would be pretty good. What's up, Red Barn MX? Race the Canadian Can-Am National. I like how you spelled that. With Noah Viney. Yeah, I don't know if I really have time to be running around doing UTV races, but I hear you. I have to be careful sometimes what I read on here, that I read it first before I say it, because some of the things you guys say, I definitely probably wouldn't be good to say. All right, so how much is your 450 cost? So the 450 I'm actually getting rid of this one right here. Let's see, this bike right here, the all black one. That bike here, I'm gonna sell, get rid of it. And that bike has like, I have the motor done. I have Jamie from Twisted do the head on the cylinder, port the head, and then I have FMF pipe and silencer, and then we have Power Band does the suspension on it, and it's set up for someone basically my height and weight. But anyway, that bike I'm gonna get rid of. 2019 KTM 450 here pretty quick. I think it might be 2020. What year are we in? Yeah, it is a 2020. That's funny. Right on, Shigel said, I watched your church service sandals. Did you like it? I don't know. I've been to a lot of different places in town and a lot of different places around the world, and I feel like that's the best spot. Like, just my opinion. How many square feet is your shop? About 3,500, 4,000 maybe square foot. I think the perfect size shop is 2 big motorhome bays and probably 1 car bay, which is anyway 3,000 to 4,000 square foot shop is probably the best. Travis Pastrana reps Yokohama. I don't know. Is he really Yokohama? I don't know. Obviously, Yokohama probably gives him the best endorsement deal, which he uses the money to support his family and what he does, right? I like Pastrana's model because you never can give Pastrana a hard time about like, oh, you're, making money on Yokohama or whatever, because he's always giving back to the riders. Look at the riders and the athletes who don't give back, who don't support, say they aren't giving money back to the sports riders or even like helping their kids come up in sports. That's when I go, but you know what? Everyone's got their own style and their own life. I'm not here to tell people how to run their game. I'm just saying that support the companies that support the athletes, okay? What's up, Glenn Alice? How's it going? Thanks for the dono. Who else? Do you feel like motocross kind of died? Because here in West Virginia, they have shut all the tracks down. Hey, let me tell you about motocross. At the end of the day, motocross has always been this kind of rebel sport, and it always flourishes in these small towns that have like areas to ride. And then once the towns start growing into neighborhoods and track homes, and I didn't even see track homes until I came to California, actually, but neighborhoods with people and shopping centers, what happens? It always pushes moto out. So that's just the way it is, because only dirt bikers like the sounds of dirt bikes. Do you notice that? Like, dirt bikes are allowed. So what's the cure to that? Public parks, electric dirt bikes. Hate to say it, but if you want to keep moto alive in these major communities and big, I'd say big populated areas, it's going to have to go to electric motorcycles, is my opinion. Like, not my opinion, that's just the facts, right? If you wanted to have a motocross track in LA, you'd have to have electric bikes. Anyway, that's just, I get it, though. We all like gas dirt bikes. What are your thoughts on Easy Tunes, Taylor Allred? I think she's a fast rider for, a female motocrosser. And I've talked to Taylor's family, and they're a great family, awesome parents. And, you know, I like I said, I just chose for my daughter, I chose the car route for my daughter. That's, you know, that was my route. And I've talked to them, you know, and hey, they've chose moto. That's their family deal. And I think, cool, that's their choice. And at the end of the day, it really just comes down to how much time do you get to spend with your family and kids. That's really what it comes down to. Whether your kid makes it into a sport and makes millions of dollars and becomes super famous, that's cool for sure, but it's not always the most important in game either, right? So Jonathan Nichols, you used to be sponsored by Rockstar. What about Monster? Did you like better, and what age are the kids able to get sponsored by energy drink? Good question, Jonathan Nichols. I like that. That's a good question. So let me break this down, and most people probably know a lot of this story already because it's in my documentary, but who was the first Monster Energy athlete? Who was the first Monster Energy athlete? Do you guys try to answer that question? I'll give you a second. Who was the first Monster Energy athlete? Like, first guy ever to run a Monster logo, ever in the whole world. Who? Okay, got a lot of you guys getting it right. Ryan Philippoto, I don't think he was even, yeah. All right, so you got it right. I was with Hanson's Energy first, and then the creators of the owners of Hanson's Energy. I was with Hanson's Energy in '99. X Games is when they signed me, when I met Mark Hall. Mark Hall is one of the owners of Monster Energy now. So you see where that's going. They were Hanson's Energy. Does everyone remember Hanson's Energy? It actually tasted really good, and I was like hooked on those things. But I was with Hanson's Energy in '99. We started taste testing different drinks and creating logos, and I was there when they created the Claw and Monster Energy. And that we printed graphics on a printer and put them on my dirt bike. And if you look back in about 2000 X Games, I was the first one with the Monster M on my dirt bike. First athlete ever, and it was kind of a purplish looking M. I could show you pictures of that, and I still have my first Monster helmet. But, so you're asking, why did you go to Rockstar? Here's what happened. So I was with Monster Energy for about a year or two, and I remember they paid me like it was $2,500 a month, and I thought that was balling. Like that was the big, like I was sleeping on a couch, I had no money, and that was my first sponsor that really, besides Etnies, $500 a month. So I thought I was big balling at $2,500 a month from Hanson's Energy. So it turned to Monster, and I was Monster for a couple of years, and then that's when I created, that's when the whole militia movement started, and we created this group with Twitch and Feist, and basically I wanted to get them sponsored, and we wanted to do this thing, kind of the Monster Militia thing, and but Monster Energy was like, we don't have the budget to sponsor all those guys. Well, guess what? Remember No Fear Energy? So No Fear came around. They're like, oh, we'll sponsor the whole militia. Remember that run Metal Militia had with No Fear, where we had all No Fear gear and all, we looked legit. Like our team, we had a legit looking team, all No Feared out, No Fear shorts and riding shorts. And we had to go to the No Fear Sobe energy drink. So I left Monster. Big mistake, okay? Like, at the end of the day, I would have stayed there, been the first athlete in many years. Think about it. That was probably one of the biggest mistakes in my career. I walked away from a brand that I didn't realize was going to turn into a $1 billion brand. Why did I do it? I walked away so my friends could get sponsored. All of us together could become a team. And I walked away from what could have been a future for me making millions of dollars at Monster for many years earlier, but I wasn't ready for that. I think I explain all this in my documentary. If I would have made millions of dollars at a younger age, I probably wouldn't be here today because I was really, really wild back for I had a run in my life when I did freestyle that I got really wild, and a bunch of money wouldn't have been good for me at that time. So what's up, Tyler Burr? Thanks for the dono. But anyway, so I get into why I ended up a Rockstar. So we ran No Fear for 3 or 4 or 5 years. They ran out of money. Checks started bouncing. They're like, yeah, the check's in the mail. The check's in the mail. Finally, that all hit the wall. No Fear went down. Rockstar, I ran into the guys at Rockstar. we created a relationship, and they said, dude, we'll sponsor it. We want to be a part of what you're doing. I said, okay, once again, we got to have the whole militia, like all the guys. So that's when I brought on the guys from the militia, and we ran Rockstar for a long time. The militia and Rockstar like became this like duo deal. And I feel like we had a big part of helping build Rockstar, even though whatever, they could have done without us. But I feel like we had a big part of that. And so we ran that for a while, but the whole time I always stayed close to Monster because we were friends. And that's where I go back to, listen to my podcast, the power of relationships and not burning bridges. And I always stayed friends with Mark Hall because we were always cool. But it did hurt him. He was like, man, I can't, why did you leave when we really had your back from the beginning? I was young. I was not making good decisions, but I live and learn. I learned from all those decisions. Yes, so I ended up having that relationship with them for many years and still had that friendship. And I kind of always wanted to be back at Monster because I liked their vibe, and I felt like I was part of that from the beginning. And so really, with Rockstar, we kind of ran its course, and everyone was kind of going their own ways with militia and other things. And I thought, okay, my chance at Monster came up again. I'm not going to get into that whole story, but the chance popped up, and I said, you know what? I thought about my daughter racing NASCAR. I thought about my boys coming up in moto. And I just thought, man, that's the best home to be at. Like they're in NASCAR. They're big, heavily vested in that. Once again, thinking about, okay, how do I position my family, my kids? I did that once for my crew of guys a few times. And then I said, hey, I'm going to do this for the family. And we ended up back. I said, let's do it. I ended up back at Monster. I was like, good. All right, I feel like I'm back home. And they have supported my family strong. And it's just been a great thing. So that's my quick breakdown of how I ended up. People are like, what happened to Rockstar? Because you'll see that in a lot of my stuff. But Rockstar was a big part of my life. There was a piece to the puzzle, right? But I always felt like I needed to come back to Monster to be home with my family and help my kids. So how do you feel about Utah Moto? I'm not sure. I haven't really been there. So, all right, I'll answer a few more moto questions, and then I'm going to let you all go so I don't wear you guys out. Have you ever been to Montana? Yes, we've been through there. Anyway, I love my Deegan hat I ordered. Yeah, JButt72, YKTM. That's, if you listen, you guys would know that. What age for an 85? I think probably somewhere 10 to 13 is the range for 85s. Have you ever thought about coming to Australia? Yeah, I've been there a few times. Yeah, I'll be back to Australia probably within the next year or two. We just need to find a place for Hayden to race and then, kind of set it up around a film trip. Why the number 38? That's a good question. That's another whole story that I'm not going to jump into right now. But there's an emotional tie to that number 38. There's a reason why it exists. So I think a lot of people know that story. I see what you're saying, dude. You keep asking how much for the forks. I'm not going there on this one, okay? I told you to leave a message on my last post on my Instagram. You should give away... Okay, so the wick, what else? What age for 65? 65, you probably want to be somewhere around 7, 8, probably 8 years old to 10 or 11. I think you age out at 11 on a 65. By then, you should kind of be on an 85. What else? Need to see some trucks soon. Yeah, I know. Off-road racing is supposed to start in May 9th, or no, May something. May 9th is my birthday, actually. Somewhere in May. Have you ever heard of or watched a game of AFL? No. You should have a ride to Lincoln, Nebraska. That's funny. When did you make the change from 125 to 250? Geez, that's a long time ago. Anyway, all right. So right on, guys. Since I'm 5'4", I would say probably, it depends how old you are, but probably an 85 or a super mini, I would say, is probably the right height for that. How old are you for 125? 120 depends how tall you are again. 125, you should probably be 5'5" to, I would say 5'5" and up, and somewhere around 125 to 155 pounds. Anyway, like, who is that? That's Marisa in the background. She's cleaning the motor home. All right, so what else? Do you need an extra filmer? Hey, if you guys are filmers and good filmers, you could hit up Gavin Ayala. He's the guy that runs all our filming stuff, and if he's ever looking for workers or whatever, that's the guy. What is your best memory moment of lust? James Hunter. I don't know. There's a lot there. Probably the time I was announcing X Games and he won his first freestyle event at X Games. I think he went up against, I forget his name, the other French, maybe a French rider, and it came down to the finals, and he laid down like a perfect run and ended up winning freestyle motocross gold medal. So that was probably one of the coolest moments. When are you coming back to Mass? I don't know. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and let's see, what bike would you recommend for a 5'7", 120-pound female? I would probably say a Honda 150, a KTM 125, 5'7", probably a KTM 125 or Husky 125. What else? How big is the compound? 31 acres. What is the best way to get a sponsor? That's a long story. All right, guys. So a lot of these are the same questions. But anyway, we'll try to log on again tomorrow around 6 p.m. And like I said, I have that interview with Tony Hawk, which is pretty cool, right? What's up, V-Dub? I've been out with pneumonia, really. Have not been on much. Here's the donation. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the donation there. Pneumonia, huh? That sucks. Yeah, I don't know, all these kind of sicknesses going around, but I'm ready to get back to normal life, to tell you the truth. I'm willing to take the risk. Anyhow, any tips for beginners? Get a coach. All right, guys, we'll log on tomorrow night, 6 p.m. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Later.